I was on Ashley Banfield's show on News Nation, and we talked about Sarah Grace Patrick. Now, she's the girl that killed her parents. She's a TikTok influencer. We took a look at her body language at the eulogy she gave at their funeral and her body language when she would put out videos on TikTok, and we compared them. And we talked about the things that were missing, the things that should be there from a body language and behavior perspective. Now, some things emotionally will make you do specific things, from your facial expressions to the way your body reacts, to how heavily you breathe, to the kind of tears you make. So let's take a look at this and see what's missing. Also, two more things. We ran out of time on this spot, so I didn't get to tell you all about the facial expressions we were looking at, the things to look for when someone is grieving. So I added that to the end. And number one, you're going to see why I'm wearing this hat, because it's bad. I need a haircut, and I haven't had one yet. Oof.
When her mother and her stepfather were shot to death in their own bed back in February, Sarah Grace Patrick, then a 16-year-old girl in Georgia, could have turned inward, processing the shock and the grief in private. But that was not Sarah Grace's way. Within days, she was sharing her grief on the internet with mascara streak videos like this one. And she also took a selfie on the way to mom and dad's funeral. That right there. She was also reaching out to strangers, true crime influencers to be exact, and asking for their help in solving her parents' murders. She predicted her parents' story would be, quote, a really big hit. Sarah Grace even delivered her parents' eulogy in a packed church where there wasn't a dry eye in the house, including hers.
My name's Sarah, and I'm Kristen Bulk's daughter and James Bulk's stepfather. This isn't easy, and I don't know how bad an age it can be all the time. I'm really happy I get to do this, and bear with me because I stutter a lot. I just wanted to say goodbye to my mama and Jamie since we never got the chance to. I was so used to you guys always being here to think that I never once thought too magical not being here. I didn't have a single thing with how much I needed joy to that.
But 5 months after that grief-stricken girl was in handcuffs. Sarah Grace was charged with her parents' murders. Police say the pain and the loss and the love that Sarah Grace Patrick showed the world was all a big, fat act. But how good of an act was it? Was there anything that Sarah Grace was telling us without actually telling us? Like, what kind of flags might have been missed while Sarah Grace grieved her parents' murder for all the world to see? For that, I turn to our friend Scott Rouse, who has trained alongside the FBI, Secret Service, and the U.S. military intelligence folks in behavior and body language. He co-hosts a podcast called The Behavior Panel. Scott Rouse, good to have you on again. Just take me to that little piece that we just watched, the dramatic, devastated teenage girl that the rest of us see as a kid crying on a stage. I have a feeling you see something different.
Yeah, it's really different. This is similar to, but a little bit different from the J.P. Miller situation we looked at a while back, where we're seeing things that she thinks we want to see. She's acting the way she thinks she should act. This is not the way someone who is grieving like that acts in a normal situation like this. So we're not seeing what we should see from an emotional perspective. However, she's in nirvana for this personality type. She's on stage. Just look at me. Look, I'm feeling, grief, and you're feeling sorry for me. It's all performative, but this is nirvana for her and that personality type.
So what should we be seeing? I mean, I kind of assume we should be seeing a kid who can barely get the words out and she's crying. But what should we be seeing that we're not seeing in this clip?
We're not seeing upheavals of emotion. We're not seeing those gasps of breath, like when a little child is crying and they take those really quick, deep breaths. That happens to adults too, except we control it in a different way. She never touches her face. She doesn't wipe any tears because there aren't any there. She's taking little short breaths as she goes along. We hear these tiny little sniffs, but nothing to get, the nose stuff back up in the nose, nothing like that. Her tone stays strong. She's burning right through this. She's talking fairly quickly. Now you'd think, well, she's trying to get through it. No, she's almost bored with this because she's getting to the part again where it's going to be talking about her. That's what she's getting to. So there are no pauses to gather herself or anything.
Okay, well, I want to play this next clip. She's thanking her friends and her family, but there's something specific that I think you identify that the rest of us won't notice. Let me play the clip and ask you about it on the other side. Take a peek.
Okay.
And lastly, not taking people for granted, I want to thank my family, also known as my Cata fam, my grandparents, my siblings, Candy, Donnie, Jaden, Jojo, and Tristan, Ashley, and Jesse for helping me get through my worst nightmares. And last but not least, I want to thank Sasha, Bree.
Okay, sounds normal to me. I want to mention all the people I love and thank them for being nice to me, but what do you see?
This sounds to me like it's been put together by AI, by ChatGPT or something. She's run through that for the outline of it because she starts with, and lastly. I don't know anybody that age, and I know a lot of people that age from what I do for a living, and they don't talk like that. They don't start, and lastly. This sounds like it's been set up from a ChatGPT, from AI. The terms she uses in there are not the terms that a person this age would use. Everything is fast again, and it's almost monotone. So she's read this a bunch. She's really rehearsed this a lot. And this lacks that up and down emotion that should be happening in there. These emotional interjections that should happen. The tone, speed, and volume should all change. There's no sound, in other words, of sincerity. There are no emotional upheavals as you realize the horror of what's happened, but you try to keep talking. None of that. None of that.
Well, what do you know about these teen kids these days are doing so much on social media? Boy, do I sound old saying that. But this picture of her with the mascara streaming down her face. No girl wants to be seen with the mascara streaming down her face. But there was this picture. I think she put it on her TikTok. Yep, it was on her TikTok. The video of her with the mascara. This was all within the weeks and the months after her parents died. What do you make of that?
But keep in mind, she's looking at herself, number two. But number one, she's in her wheelhouse. Like you're doing what you do the best and you absolutely love it and you're on almost every time you're on, or every time you're on that I've ever seen. Same here. She's in her wheelhouse. She's doing what she loves. She's doing what she's good at. She's good at this. So she's peaking here when it comes to the nirvana state for the narcissist. That's what's happening. She's looking at herself. And keep in mind, this is her medium. Normally, we see tears like this. If you or I have tears, we wipe them away. Normal people do. She doesn't. She wants you to see what she's going through. That's why she's got the mascara on and letting that leak down as well.
Yeah, and she's lip syncing to a song. You're not hearing her say anything meaningful. She's just lip syncing to a song saying, I'm feeling so tired and falling apart. There was also a post. It was a still picture. It was a selfie on the way to the funeral where she said, in a post, this can't be real, on the way to my parents' funeral. I got like 20 seconds left, but what do you make of a picture like that en route to the speech that we just saw?
Okay, number one, it's odd to be doing that. Number two, we're missing a lot of things in the face. We're missing the grief muscle, which should be right up here. It's hard to fake. You can't do it. We're not seeing anything we should be seeing in the glabella, that little group of muscles right there. Her eyebrows should be coming together like this. And when they come up and push up like that, the top of the head here, the top of the brow comes down and makes a horseshoe indentation there. And that's what we call the grief muscle. This whole thing here called the orbicularis oculi, these things should be engaged. They should be pushing up a little bit, but they're not. We're not seeing anything happen in her lower eyelids. The side of the mouth should be turned downward. It is a little bit here, but not like it should be. These little things right here should be pushed in as well, a lot further than they are if this is true sadness and grief. This is called the chin boss here. When that thing engages and you see the upside down smile there, that's not happening. We see some wrinkling there, but that's just because she's doing it. The brain isn't doing it. When the brain does it, it looks different. So that's what makes it that little U there that we can hardly do by ourselves. It's almost impossible.
This is why I keep calling you, because I find it's just so fascinating. I don't see any of it, but when you point it out, it makes perfect sense. You got to come back. Scott, thank you so much for this.
I had to rush through that stuff at the end to get in as much as I possibly could. There's a whole bunch more I didn't get to, so here's part of that. One of the things I didn't get to was the engagement of the brow. There's the glabella, which is that little group of muscles right there between the eyebrows that I was talking about. There should be engagement up here in the top of the forehead as well, the top and mid part of the forehead, and there is none. And the scleras are the white part of your eyes, so we see those in this photo, and they're not red. If she's really grieving, if she's crying, if all that's going on, those should be red. She should have red eyes. You know what that looks like. I know what that looks like. Everybody does. I can't believe she posted this. Then we have this little section here, and it's called the levator anguli oris. Now, that's not engaged properly either because it's moving upward. These little Indentions right here move upward when they should be moving in deeper. And we're not seeing that. There's a little bit there, but not enough to be grieving. Now, the sides of her mouth right here should be engaged more as well. It should be going way down. That's called the orbicularis oris. If you're interested in that kind of stuff, that's why I put it on here, because some people are. Those things should be going way down, not just a little bit like they are in this picture. If all those things were engaged and all those things were a little bit different, then we may be seeing grief there, but we're definitely not seeing it here. So there you have it, a better look at Sarah Grace Patrick's behavior and body language. If you have any questions about body language, just email me, bodylanguagequestions@gmail.com, and I'll get right on it.